I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy. Had to work hard, struggle just to be me. Had to rise up just so they could see me. Did what I had to do just to feed me. And what was left over I put towards my dreaming. I feel...
Hello beautiful people, welcome to Altcoin Daily with Bitcoin Gorilla. Well, I'm back today to talk to you about Chiliz. Now, if you don't know what Chiliz is actually a leading cryptocurrency for sports and entertainment. This coin makes it easier for sports clubs and associations to as well connect with their fans, right? And then use the opportunity to unlock new revenue streams. Now, the advantage for the fans is they can now participate and influence club related decisions. And in this, they can do it through surveys, polls, such as messages and all of that. Now, this brings the players closer to their fans and the fans closer to their clubs and players as well, right? So this token currently is created by the platform called the Socials, right? The Socials, right? So the thing about this token is that it is still trading at a very low price. So we're going to be looking at the price aspect of this token, and we're going to be breaking the chart on multiple time frame using simple price action. So mind you, we are also going to look at the statistics, then come back to the chart, draw the chart from scratch. I will break the chart down on simple price action, no indicator, using 1 month, weekly chart and daily chart. So in fact, the monthly chart, we're going to look more of the candlesticks and make a better interpretation. So it's a multiple time frame analysis, so this do stick by, because this video will enable us to know if Chiliz is a good buy and still a good investment, especially where it is currently trading at. So I'm going to start by understanding the current market statistics, because without knowing the market statistics, how then can I make sense of the price? So currently the price is trading at 0.2492, of which it has seen an upside of about 10.52% to the upside. So quite a little capital has entered this market today. And the most important statistics we are looking at here is the maximum supply. So the maximum supply of this token is about, in fact the figure 8 here is all they have, is 8888888, about 8,888,888 tokens, right? So approximately 8 billion token is what is there. You can see the figure right here, and the total supply is also the same thing as 8888 all the way through 8,888,888 and all of that, right? So the cyclically supply is currently 6 billion Chiliz, which means about 68% of this maximum supply is actually in circulation. So this is a good thing, because if you don't know what the difference between maximum supply and total supply, then let me tell you now. Maximum supply of any token in the crypto community is the maximum amount of token that can ever be supplied or created or existed in the lifespan of that token, right? So the total supply is the amount of token that has already been created minus any amount of token that has been burnt. But in the case of Chiliz, there's no difference, because it's still the same figure for the maximum supply and the total supply. So now that we have the little basis of the statistics of Chiliz, we are going to go further to the price and look at how these market statistics affect the entire price, right? So I'm going to go ahead and draw the chart on the weekly chart. So I will start by getting my support and resistance area, the most important ones on the chart. So do stick by. You can fast forward if you don't want to watch the drawing process, because it's going to take a while I draw the chart. And then I'll also go ahead and bring in the Bitcoin Gorilla box. I created it myself. I'm going to use it for this analysis. No indicators, like I said earlier. So stick by. Now, if you want to learn how to draw this box and you're interested in learning this strategy, I developed it so it's going to look weird to you if you're new to my trading style. I developed this strategy myself, so if you want to learn how to trade it or trade it daily with me, because I have a family where you trade with me. After I train you for 6 weeks intensive training, you're going to trade with me for a lifetime, right? Access is currently closed, but access will be opening very soon in less than 20 days, right? Around May 3rd, access is going to be open to the Makaveli traders family, where you get trained for 6 weeks, and after that you're going to be trading with me for the rest of my life. I will stand as a mentor in your trading, your journey, and we'll grow together. And it's not just me, so all the people I've been training, you're also going to come in and actually learn from them, because they are growing, trust me, and most of them are powerful traders you want to see in action. And then if you want to see me in action, live trade, then come to Makaveli Traders. I share all my trade and I give you analysis on the go. So I don't take students all the time, and access is currently closed, so membership opens by May 3rd. This is the chart. I've drawn the chart. Now we're going to make sense of it. I'm going to start the analysis, like I said, on the monthly chart. We're going to take it from the monthly to the weekly to the daily to the 4 hours. Because why? The higher time frame is where the big whale buyers are. Of course, the little money of me and you little traders, like we are retail traders, except you're not a retail trader. The retail traders, actually their money is not enough to move the market that easily, right? The ones who move this market are the whales, the market makers, right? The strong buyers and strong sellers, and these are easily found on the higher time frame. Example is the weekly chart, the monthly chart, and all of that. And this is why I do my analysis on the higher time frame. It helps me get a stronger support and a stronger resistance that have the high chances of survival than on lower time frame. This is why I also like doing multi-time frame. So looking at this chart, I want to honestly review this chart without the effect of my box, so that by the time I'm bringing in my box, it's like a confirmation to what the candlesticks alone are telling us. So I'm going to turn off this entire indicator. It's not an indicator. My drawing that I just did, I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to try to make sense of what is going on in the minds of traders, right? Their behaviors, the way they are seeing the market, right? So to do that, I want to look at the candlesticks and I will interpret them. Simple candlestick. So what I'm seeing here is there was quite a little sideways market for 2 months. There was a pretty sideways market. The first month was a bit tight, followed by the second month. So this was a accumulation kind of went on, right? And after accumulation, we had a breakout, which is this breakout candle. Beautiful, a breakout bullish candle. But the problem we are now having is, since that move up, we've not had any significant move above that breakout candle, which makes the breakout candle a significant candle, because somehow price is still trading within it. So you can see this is the height of price that it has ever gone since the breakout candle, which is this green candle, and this is the bottom. So is it that neither the sellers or the buyers were able to have the strength to move above the force that entered the market? So the force that broke out the market, the capital that broke out the market, the sellers started selling off, but they've not been able to sell everything that has been entering the market, because somehow along the way buyers are still coming in and keeping the price to somehow print higher lows, right? So I can see higher lows. So this is this low is still higher than this low, and this low is still higher than this low, which is obviously a clear bullish market structure. Now I want to ignore the fact that I am seeing lower highs, right, which is bear market structure. I want to ignore that fact, because why? I want to stand with the fact that the bears somehow has not magically been able to sell off below the green candle, which is at this point. a good information, right? They've not been able to sell below that candle. So somehow the bulls are still in control despite the fact that we are seeing a sideways market. I know a lot of people who, after seeing a sideways market, will completely tarnish a coin and say the coin is shit coin. But you don't understand something. What you're missing is lack of knowledge, the fact that price have something they call life cycle, which means price go up and down. Price going up and down is normal in every market. Bitcoin, we experience it. Ethereum, we experience it. Whatever altcoin you go to, we experience it. Now, the volatility at which this movement moves changes in each coin based on the capital that enters and leaves the coin, right? So, yes, I know some coins don't make sense. A lot of coins don't make sense. Tell me what Dogecoin does. It's just a memo coin. Same thing as Shiba. But you see, they were able to pump, right? Aren't people buying it? Aren't it making moves? Because of the fact that when there is no enough sellers and no enough buyers, the ones who are in the market are struggling to make sense of the market because they have equal buy and sell orders, which leads to this consolidation. So after the first big move into the market, things change, right? The sellers were not enough to break below the move. The buyers were not enough to break above it, forcing an inside bar, right? So this second bar is an inside bar of this previous bar, though it breaks below it, which should have been a bear signal, right? Because even if I combine these three candles, it's still a bearish signal. But somehow magically, why are we not going lower? Are you seeing what I'm trying to see, right? So that's a good sign to tell you that these bulls are still in this market, so do not ignore the bulls. Now let's determine more about the candles. Now after they created this 3-bar reversal, it was rejected by this move here, because of course this is an what we see here is a spinning bottom. Why do I call it a spinning bottom? Because here becomes a support, right? So a spinning bottom here, and then a hammer, bullish signs, and then a confirmation. So this other candle that follows it is a confirmation. Still, what are we saying? It's still singing bulls are still in the market. Buyers are still in this market. Do not ignore them. Why? Because the next sellers came, and again the buyers reaction. So somehow the buyers are there. But then let's just consider this is the support, like we said, right? This is the support range. So let me use the line to make it a little bit easier to get the support, right? So somewhere around here there's a support, right? Somewhere around there there's a support, and this support, but let me move it so this point is very much closer. So this support reacted, but let's just say we don't know what happened here. So let's say it has not played out and candles were still here. Yes, obviously this is a 3-bar reversal, and this candle, this red candle that follows it, is actually a confirmation of that 3-bar reversal. And 3-bar reversal are sell-off sellers candlesticks. It's a bearish sign, right? But it didn't work out for them. It worked against them. Why? Because support is just right there. The buyers are still there. So for that reason, we saw that even though they had a red confirmation candle, the follow-up through did not happen. Instead, we had an indecision. We had a sideways market. We had a doji sitting on a support. Now, we know that to confirm if this doji is going to completely change the entire thing, the doji printed a 3-bar reversal, countering this particular 3-bar reversal, changing it. So it's like you throw 10 orders, I've given you throw 10,000 sell orders, I've given you back 10,000 sell orders. It might not be exactly the same figure, but I'm just giving an instance, example, right? Illustration. So what I just see with these 3 candles on this support sings yet bulls are here, just like a hummingbird. Bulls are here, bulls are here. But can the weekly chart support this? Can the daily chart support this? Because with these 2 charts, we're going to actually have more reason to want to buy more Chiliz. So let's go to the back to remember our box now. Now when I start dealing with the weekly chart, I will want to bring in my box because now things are going to start making sense. So let's take the chart to weekly chart. I drew this chart on the weekly chart, and it's going to help us, just one drawing is going to help us make sense of the entire other time frames, right, without needing to draw the chart again. Alright, beautiful. So here's what I'm saying. This is the support of, so I have two boxes I want to take note of so that when I'm explaining you can make sense of it. This is the first box, the weekly box, right? And then I have another inside box, the daily box, right? Now this is the weekly box support area. So in this situation, I am not treating area as a line. I am not treating support as a line. I'm treating support as an area. So this entire area is a very important area to the monthly and the weekly traders, right? So this is their resistance, and the daily chart, intraday and every other, they have a very strong importance around this range currently. In the life, this is about the life history, the entire life history of this token. That's what we are looking at. So in the past, they have a strong, this range is their strong point, and this is their resistance range, right? With that known, now let's interpret the chart based on what this box has told us. So looking at this chart, we see that price has a seller line of one touch here, two touch. So sellers magically are sitting on this line that is setting down. Every time that price touches that line, price automatically get pushed down. So let's take note of that. There is still a missing touch somehow on this line, and I feel it's either somewhere here or somewhere here. At least somewhere around here is going to happen, and I'm going to tell you why I see it coming. First of all, this is a support range, and the box is telling me, from what I'm seeing here, is that we are at a very sensitive buy zone. It will not easily get broken, and that buy zone is the range of 0.239 all the way to 0.146. I'm sorry, all the way to 0.127. A little adjustment is needed on that. So we are at a very important buy range according to my box strategy. It says from the price range of 0.128 to the price range of 0.24, price will move sideways for accumulation. This is, we give them the buy power to decide to go back up. Now you see the tip of my box and the bottom, see it as a download, right? So a download has a top, a bed, let's see it as a bed. A bed has the top of the download and the bottom of the download, right? When you break into the download, you start seeing the download itself, not the mattress. I'm talking about mattress, not the clothes covering the top. But to break into the mattress, your finger can just dive into it. It's going to take effort to go in. That is how it works. To get into the download, the mattress, the bed, is going to require force to get in. But once you are in, this is a point where buyers come in and start buying. So it might not, there's no particular price they buy, but as long as it's within this range, as long as price would trade within that range, there will be a sideways market, there will be accumulation, there will be this happening. So patience is needed a lot when price is within my box area, right? So that is the first thing within the support range area. Accumulation is needed for a move to either change direction or continue. So two things could happen when price is within my box. It either the sell-off continues and break my box. In that situation, it will turn this entire box, which was previously a support, into a resistance. But in this situation, they've not broken below it, which means we are standing with one other option that is left, which says that as long as they are within my box, accumulation will go on, which means capital is entering the market to be able to stand the sell-off in the market so that price can move higher. But for this to happen, price will need to accumulate. the sell orders that are already in the market needs to be countered with buy orders, enough buy orders. So maybe this entire week they were buy orders that came in, but it wasn't enough to counter the sell order that has already been placed around this range. So of course it will go down, and then the next week as it comes, more order comes, it will go up, and again the sell order didn't go off, all off. So this will cause the sideways equilibrium between buyers orders and sellers orders. Is what makes this sideways movement, and sometimes it can take a long time. I know a lot of people don't understand the meaning of trading is 80% waiting, right? I know you hear a lot, sometimes you hear people say trading is 80% waiting, 10% buying, and 10% selling. Well, it comes to that point of accumulation and distribution. This takes a lot of time. Sideways market takes a lot of time to trade, which means you must learn patience. The only time available for you to buy and easily enjoy this market could not even last more than 2-3 months or 6 months or so. In fact, sometimes it's very short period of time. A good example is just here. Just imagine this is just 1 week compared to the entire life cycle of over a year in this token. This token was able to run freely in this 1 week compared to this. This was 3 weeks. So 1 week and 3 weeks, that's 4 weeks in the entire life cycle of this token. It's not just this token, trust me, Bitcoin has been inside this for so long. It took just between 2020 ending and 2021 for Bitcoin to see the move from 20k to 60k, of which Bitcoin has been on for more than 10 years. That is sideways market. And sideways market, I don't want to scare you, does not really have to last that long. It just depends on the time frame. So if you're on lower time frame, sideways market can easily break easily. If you're on higher time frame, it takes a longer time. So this is why my analysis, if you watch them, you need to learn to be patient, especially when you're watching and you listen to the time frame. So if you want to understand my analysis based on the time frame you're trading, just make sure you look at the time frame you're trading, how long you want to hold. If you're holding more than a year, then pay attention to my monthly analysis and my weekly analysis when I'm making the analysis, when I'm dealing with those two charts. And then if you're intraday trader or you wish to hold for probably 3 months or less or so, then pay attention to the daily chart and the intraday chart, 4 hours, when I'm making the analysis. So this, you should know that you who is holding for probably over a year and you who is just holding for 3 months, your targets are different. So don't expect that if I tell you that CHZ is going to 0.9 or $1 and you expect it to happen in the next 3 months, forgetting my analysis also included the 1 month chart. So pay attention to the time frame so that you know when your own target gets there, because your target might be faster if you're trading, if you're expecting a change in the next 1 month or 2 months, right? So pay attention to the time frame. For the weekly chart is for those who wants to hold this coin for more than 1 year, right? This is who should look at this chart. But as an intraday trader, you are at advantage because you don't need to be trading this weekly and monthly chart to use their support. So it's like if you can't beat them, you join them. If you're trading lower time frame, try to target the support and resistance of the higher time frame to buy, because when you buy, chances are high of survival than when you buy on the lower time frame. They easily break their support and resistance. So in our situation, chances are high that we see this token surviving this move, right? So here's what will happen. The support here, they've done a good job by breaking above it. So somehow they have magically broken the sideways that was holding up, which I would say is a good thing for the bulls, because now after breaking it, they made it to my control line. So let me adjust that line. So this is my control line, and they made it to the control line. That's not properly adjusted. Better. So they made it above the what is it called? The support, right? Good. Breakout of the support will require a retest. It's like every breakout, because this particular sideways you're seeing, this little sideways, let's take a look at it on 1 hour, you find out that is it completely looking like this. Just let's look at it on 1 hour chart and see what it looks like, so that you start making sense of how this market moves, so that you start being less worried when any coin you buy is moving this way. So you can see it's just few couple of candles, and remember these are just 2 candles on the monthly when we look at the monthly. So you remember how see how time frame affects the chart. Because I bought a coin and I'm hoping to hold for 1 year, it's not the same target with you who is bought the coin and hoping to exit it in 3 months. There's a difference, unless of course you are just, how do I say it, you entered here and you just want to run the run, right? Which is where the box strategy comes, because once they break out, we expect a run. So in this situation, we want to enter the market the right timing, like when they are going to make this move up, right? That's when we want to enter the market, or at least we want to start buying when they first make that move, because no matter the sideways that will happen, they will get a breakout to continue the move, right? So this is how it moves. They will have a breakout, they'll move, they will have a they will have a breakout, they'll move up, they will consolidate, right? Have a little pushback, and have a little pushback, then consolidate before going up again. That's how they are going to move. Now this is a long-term overview, right? So here's what I see with the weekly chart. They have already retested, and weekly chart is going to need patience, like I said. So let's see if we can connect the buyer's line on the weekly chart. This is now looking like the pattern of triangle, and why I say it looks like triangle is because the difference between a triangle and a pennant, you're going to see they look alike. Just Google it, pennant and triangle, symmetry triangle, they look alike and they could confuse you. The difference is a pennant might have a flag, a triangle does not have a flag, and a triangle takes minimum minimum of 3 months, right? Anywhere from 3 months and above, a triangle is now a triangle, a symmetry triangle. But anything below 3 months is a pennant. So what we're seeing here is a triangle, and this has lasted over 3 months and over 6 months, so which makes it a clear triangle, symmetry triangle pattern. So what we're seeing is they could pull back and land on this symmetry pattern. The beautiful thing you must know about that is it is still within our support. Still within our support. So I see them pulling back to this point at worst. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to look at the worst case scenario, then we're going to round the video up with the best case scenario. So on this weekly chart, I will look at the worst case, I will look at the best case. So I do not do partiality. I am very, very honest with you with what I'm saying, so that you make the decision yourself if it is a buy or a sell based on what you have seen me analyze. And I will say you make the conclusions, the final decision yourself, because it is you who will press that buy or sell order at the end of the day. Do not let anyone take the power of telling you what to do, because at the end of the day, you are the decision maker of how your money moves in this market. So trust yourself, always trust yourself. So what I see is that this market is going to, let's say what we are seeing here is a 3-bar reversal. So let's consider the candlesticks for a moment. At least there was a bull pressure that took them out of the support zone and they came to a retest. This is a 3-bar reversal, which is a bear signal, right? So is it going to play out? Let's say it plays out. Let's say it plays out. The worst case scenario is that they could stop at here, 0.166 at worst, 0.142 at worst. So 0.16618. In fact, I see 18 doing a beautiful job, but I think the daily chart will tell us if it's going to be 18 or if it's going to get to 16. But at least the weekly chart is saying at worst case scenario we see 0.16 to 14 range, right? Which is not far anymore from where we are, because we are trading at 0.243 range, right? So the next week or this week, whichever week cool. So what I see is that they could make this sideways until they get to it before they move. But this time around, when they return, they are going to make their way all their way to 0.37. But I might not be the one to spoil your news because they will get back down. They are going to go down again because a control line is very important range, right? And this price is not going to let them down that easily. And there's no coincidence, our seller's line is exactly that point. And this is their third time touching the seller's line. So let's say the pressure was high, they could break a little above it and they will return. And their return, expect them to return back to 0.2. So that upward move we get to 0.4, 0.4, and if you are holding Chiliz for a long time, I don't see a reason to start worrying because they will start printing bull market structure. So if you are buying at when it goes down, but I don't want you to have all the hope that it's going to go down because price is still, until they fail to hold, then this still buy reversal will play out. But I do see that pullback coming. Just have it at the back of your mind that if you enter around this, just within this support, let's say you buy within this support range that I talked about, within that 0.24 all the way to that 0.14, right? 0.146. Let's say you buy around this range, you buy around this range. Expect that pullback when they get to 0.38 to 0.4. Around that range, why I say when they get to, I'm not giving you a particular figure, is you could see this play out. Something like this could play out. When they get to it, they do this, and then they move, they do this, and then they come back. So that last push up, that sideways could have a week like this. Like this is a week where it's supposed to stop here, but you can see it went up here. You can see sometimes the week don't get to the point, or it does. You understand? Like for example, this is it started reacting here, but it ended up here. So that kind of situation will get them pierced through this point. Or if the sell-off on the control line is strong, they could just get instantly pushed out without even piercing through it. That will all depend on the kind of money that is accumulating here, because this is where the force that will move the money, the price up is going to come from, so that they will seek for more buyers. And I do see this more buyers from the price of this point, right? So what you tell me, what if they get rejected before that point? Their point of rejection could be around 0.32, right? To 0.3, around 0.323, right? If they don't get rejected, I don't see them getting rejected. I see them getting to this point. At least that is what my box is telling me. Before they pull back, according to my box, they could pull back, and then when they pull back, they will make this sideways movement before they move. Now this time around, they are going to make their way up, right? Now this is not going to be a smooth run, because you can see it has not been smooth for this coin, and it has not been smooth for any coin in the past how many months. So it's not just CHZ. Bitcoin is in sideways. Most of these coins are in sideways. So patience is needed in whatever coin you want to choose. So don't start by labeling a coin a shit coin. So this coin has possibility of moving to this 0.54 all the way to 0.6, right? To get a reaction. They could get here. So they will get the first reaction at 0.52, but they will pull back, then they will try attempt and get to 0.6. They could now make something like this, right? But then they will return. Again, the box strategy. The box is telling me this story, and I'm just feeding you what I'm saying. They will return, and then they will make it back up. And this time, now, before all this will even play out, I would have come and updated this chart. So this is where they are stopping, but the time frame is weekly chart, so we have to stay open-minded, because the target, according to my box, is anything that left the bottom of this, we get to the top. So anything that leaves the bottom of this will get to the point. So until that price gets, then I'll come and make an analysis of what next that will play out from the point of 0.6. So I'm going to leave this weekly target still on 0.6. Let's first achieve it before we move further to think bigger, right? Let's not stay greedy yet, right? So I'm going to go on and carry this analysis further towards the daily chart. So let's see what the daily chart looks like. Remember, we did our drawing on the weekly chart, and obviously it's making some clear things that we can see and make sense of what the market is saying on the daily chart without needing to redraw the chart again. So you can see the chart. This is what it looks like when we zoom in on the daily. This is no indicator. I drew this chart. So this is the chart. So what we see, like I said, is we're going to get a move from where they are, could turn to this point, right? Then they will make this move, and then they will move to this point, right? At this point, they will react, they'll come back, and they'll move, right? This is daily chart. To this point. Know that they will react. They could push them down. Their first touch of my box, they will not enter it, so they will get a reaction and then try again up. So you're going to see a lot of sideways move, a lot of sideways move to get us out of this. And sideways market needs a lot of patience, and this is why I said you are going to need patience. But for now, for a mid-term, short-term trader, I'm going to do this for 4 hours. I'm going to take this chart to 4 hours and see if the intraday, the daily chart we are looking at now, target is making sense by seeing what happened in this range. So again, we see a sideways market occurring here, and I would like to get a better detail because this is the breakout. They first accumulated in the market before making out, right? Making their way to the breakout. So I want to see what happened in this. Will help me determine if this price is going to pull up, get rejected, and return to this point, like I said, or is going to make direct movement. Either way, the bulls are still strong because this distance is no longer far. The entire of this point is bulls buy point, so you're just seeing people placing orders as far as price is trading within this range, and that's what you see happening, causing this, right? Because as they are placing orders as price is within that range, sell orders is going, and before you know it, we had a breakout to the upside. So what I'm saying though right now is that the current daily chart printed a bullish. Okay, there is already a sideways accumulation or distribution. I don't know, we're going to find out. So I'm going to go to monthly 4 hours chart and make sense of this chart even more. So weekly chart, daily chart are pointing the same direction. So let's look more closely at market structure, right? So the market structure that I'm seeing here is this. So what we have here, I want to make sure I'm saying what I'm saying right. Okay, this makes sense. So what I saw there, I wanted to make sure it is what happened. So we have something like this. This is the neckline. This is S, this is H, this is X. So we have inverse head and shoulder, and of course, to confirm that that was what played out, we have exactly equal move to the upside. So this particular gives me a lot of insight about what happened. So we had a breakout and a retest. So remember that inverse head and shoulder is a sideways market. And since it's inverse, it sinks bulls. It's a bullish market structure, which says that the market is going to get an equal move to the upside of the head distance. So I'm going to bring in my box and try to make sense of what really happened in that area. My box always tell me stories of the sideways market. See, a lot of strategies talk about how to catch a long move and all of that, but nobody's talking about the 80% of the time where you just have to sit and wait for the market to help you make a decision. My box helps you make a better decision of what is likely going to play out anytime soon on that chart you are looking at. So this is the chart. The boss is going to tell us the story of what happened inside the box. Remember, access into Makaveli traders is only open 3 times a year. Limited membership, because you get to trade with me and I have to share market insights on the go with you, and as well as share my trades with you, trade along, we eat together as a family. It's not just me when I'm not available, when I'm not trading. Of course, you have pros in the house who are going to trade and carry you along. You have your team leaders, and in fact, it's going to be fun when you join us, because we are a family growing together. We believe that we can eat together by joining heads together and growing as a family. So if you're interested in joining me and become part of my family, access will be open May 3rd. So what I are seeing according to the Bitcoin Gorilla box is we have a retest. What is the retest? So I'm going to extend it to make sense of it. So the retest says that if the retest is to continue, if it's a retest, if it's to continue, that shows the bull pressure, then the bulls should be able to hold this point. They shouldn't break below it, because if they do, they will head to our control line, which is around this range, right? So I have a control line there, so it means they are going to head to this point. So they need to make it above outside, because they could get rejected. If whatever they are accumulating doesn't work, they could get rejected here. So they need to continue this move and probably develop a new trend line, right? I know this strategy might look new to you. It is. So pay attention and you will catch up, because it's very explanatory. No need of confusion. So as the box, what we haven't, they left the box, the same environment that has been stopping them from leaving countless times. They came to it and they left above the box. They went all the way to the price, like I said, 0.33, but they returned. Why didn't they make the way to this point? Because the accumulated capital has been exhausted, and of course the sell-off continued and forced them to retest. And again, the bulls are constantly coming. If you are into price action, you know that when there is a breakout to whatever side, they will always come back to retest it. So if it's a resistance, they want to turn that resistance to a support, and in my box they want to turn the entire area into a support. Why is my box now showing me? The box already predicted the sideways even before it happened, because whenever they are there, they will show me a sideways. So them returning into a sideways, I was already expecting this sideways. So how will I know if now the problem with a lot of breakout strategies you're going to get is the fact that when the breakout is a fake out, my box is going to warn you when you are entering a fake out, because of course you will find price returning back inside, which calls this a fake out, right? And how is it going to be a fake out once you see it going below this point? So my box right now is saying that where price is on 4 hours, based on what we are seeing intraday, chances are high that they will still survive. So I like staying open-minded, especially when this box is talking, right? So here's the thing. You can see the same accumulation that is going on here is meaningly going on here, but on a lower time frame. This is 4 hours. On a lower time frame, there's a sideways again, which you can still work again. If you want to learn this strategy, it's easy, but you have to pay attention. So right now they have touched the box. There is no coincidence that it is the bottom of my box resistance area they have broken, which is now their bottom of the box support, bottom support, because this is now their new support. If they are serious, if this breakout is not fake, they will stand above it, which gives them opportunity to turn this new trend line that currently has only one touch, a second touch. So giving them the opportunity to move up. Where are they moving to? Heading to this 0.33 3.7 to 3.8 range. Remember, I said we'll look at the downside, the possible downside, and the possible upside. So this is the possible upside. The possible upside the box is saying is they are likely to hold up where they are right now. And if they do, they will head for 0.372. But if they don't, how will I know? Now, they could have a pull-up and they could... Here's the thing. They could have a pull-up to 0.28 and get rejected, and when they come, they will come to this particular 0.187 187 or so. Now 187 to 186 is not far, and if I do this, let me show you something. It's not far. I'm about to explain something. This is future focus, and you can see from this chart is a bit, yeah, okay, this point, move this point. So let's say they get rejected. Where do I think they will get rejected? Well, I see them, if they get rejected, they could get rejected at, like I said, 0.2728 range. They could get rejected, or even 0.25 where they are now. If they are not careful, this candle will be a fake out, right? But I don't think it's a fake out, because it looks like I am the one who needs to extend my box. Right? Okay, good. I'm having a better view of it. So let's say this candle that is open, this 4 hours currently candle is deceptive, right? Why is it deceptive? It broke, look, this is a sideways market, right? And a strong resistance that pushed them down. It returned to it, pierced above it, and is looking like a hammer, and it has just 1 hour 30 minutes. Now I know you're going to say, well, Bitcoin Gorilla, anything can happen. Of course, I don't judge a candle before it opens. I like judging a candle after it closes, right? Or judging a candle before it closes, rather. I like judging a candle after it closes. But of course, looking at what we are seeing, it doesn't even look to me like they are going to make it. Let's just be honest. Why doesn't it look so? They could make it, I've already said it, but if this candle failed to close above this point, above 0.4, so the next 4 hours, if it fails to close above 0.48, then we're going to have the next candle moving a little bit up, get to this 0.248 range or so, and the next candle is going to start leading the downward move. What are they going? They are going down. And if they fail, they will find their way to this point. 0.18, like I said. Now this could happen. This is if they fail to hold this point. Expect this reaction before they now start moving, and then they will leave, and then they will head to this point, because they will clear the entire everything that happened here. Yes, it is an extended retest. That is what it is. But the box is calling it that. If the extended retest goes on, you will know ahead of time. So you can always come back and rewatch this video over time if what I said is playing out. I am Bitcoin Gorilla. Remember, the bigger support of the weekly chart that we did is this line trending up, right? So, and this line, there's no coincidence, is the same point my 4 hours box is. So my 4 hours box is calling that point, my trend line is calling that point, leaving that point as a very important point. So we could see them moving like this and then moving like this, but stay open, because here is possible. I remember Bitcoin Gorilla. If you have any questions, if you have any coin you want me to analyze next, or something you want me to look at, please don't forget to drop it in the comment section and I will look into it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, don't forget to like, share, and click the notification bell so that you'll be notified when next I post. Happy trading.
I always fought just to wear the crown. I'm pissed off at these fucking clowns who were all taught they deserve an ounce. It's only worth it if you work for it. It's only worth it if you work for it. I won't stop till they hear me now. I won't stop till I wear the crown.